When you need someone to agree to a deal, buy a product, or finish a task, the default instinct is to apply pressure. We list facts, we raise our voices, and we over-explain exactly why our way is the right way. The result is a brick wall, illustrating reactance. Notice how a direct force pushing against the barrier causes the surface to instantly harden and push back. Humans crave autonomy. Watch the force bounce off. We routinely reject logical advice if we feel controlled. History's most effective strategists understood this biological roadblock. Instead of pushing harder, they abandoned direct pressure entirely. They relied on a counterintuitive playbook known as reverse psychology. To reliably shape behavior, you have to stop hammering at the mind's firewall. You bypass it entirely by leveraging 3 specific psychological paradoxes. Society conditions us to project unwavering strength. We are taught to stand tall, hide our flaws, and maintain total competence to command respect. Displaying absolute power puts a target on your back. It puts everyone on high alert. Watch how this heavy castle drawbridge slowly lowers across a moat. This represents the effect of false weakness. By intentionally revealing a slight vulnerability, you signal that you are not a threat, prompting others to lower their own mental defenses. This applies directly to your workload through a tactic called controlled incompetence. If you execute every single task flawlessly, your reward is everyone else's unfinished work. Claiming ignorance on select, low-priority tasks preserves your energy for the decisions that actually matter. You see the exact same dynamic in a heated argument. The moment you start firing back with opposing facts, the debate ceases to be about the truth. It becomes a battle of egos, with both sides desperately protecting their pride. The most effective countermeasure is strategic surrender. Simply saying, "Maybe you're right," removes the friction entirely. The opponent's brain, primed for a heavy fight, suddenly finds nothing to push against, shocking them out of their defensive posture. A calculated concession secures far more behavioral control than a rigid display of dominance. We tend to assume whoever commands the room and speaks the most words holds the power. The exact opposite is true. This timeline diagram visualizes the power of silence. Notice what happens when one side abruptly stops speaking. A gaping conversational void opens up, and the human brain naturally panics in the presence of empty space. As the void lingers, watch the opposing side's timeline rapidly expand and bleed into the empty space. Unable to tolerate the quiet, an opponent will nervously rush to fill it, often over-explaining, revealing hidden constraints, or spontaneously lowering their asking price. You can steer the specific words they use to fill that void through an implanted idea. Instead of telling someone what to do, you ask a calibrated question that leads them to generate the answer themselves. You combine this with the mirror of narcissism. People naturally construct a heroic self-image. They view themselves as responsible, fair, or sharp. If you frame your desired outcome as a reflection of their ideal self, they will leap to adopt it. A target will aggressively defend an idea against all logic if they believe they authored it. The modern world assumes that endless options and constant praise yield the highest satisfaction, yet human psychology buckles under too much liberty. This tangled web of flashing, branching paths illustrates the anxiety of freedom. When presented with a massive array of options, the brain experiences decision fatigue, paralyzing the individual with the fear of making the wrong choice. True influence curates reality. Watch as the tangled web snaps down into just 2 clear paths, both curving toward the exact same destination. By showing an extreme, expensive option first, the contrast principle, the second option looks perfectly reasonable. You provide the illusion of choice, but dictate the outcome. This curated scarcity extends to motivation through the forbidden fruit effect. Look at this historical depiction of figures reaching for the item denied to them. Restricting access to something transforms it. A mundane object instantly gains immense psychological weight the moment a rule states it is off limits. You trigger this desire through strategic withdrawal, stepping away to make your presence scarce. You can apply the same restriction to their ego using an ego challenge. By expressing a slight, measured doubt about their ability to complete a task, you reframe the work as a personal challenge. Humans rarely sprint toward the things handed to them freely. They are driven by the burning need to acquire what is locked away and to prove their doubters wrong. The human mind operates on a specific architecture. It does not run on raw logic. It is steered by the preservation of ego, the illusion of autonomy, and emotional defense mechanisms. Understanding this architecture brings a strict ethical requirement. There is a sharp division between strategic influence and malicious manipulation. Weaponizing these laws to continuously deceive others is self-destructive. It rapidly erodes trust, and without trust, your capacity to lead, negotiate, or maintain relationships completely collapses. You learn the mechanics of the implanted idea, the illusion of choice, and false weakness, so you can recognize when these tactics are actively being deployed against you. Real power is the discipline of restraint. It is the ability to step back, stop forcing the world to bend, and allow human nature to do the heavy lifting for you.